see, unlimited leaves lah.
Unlimited leaves.
No need to work, no work hours. You can work anytime you want. I got the category of being the Website of the Year award for the e-commerce category. Emerged as number 1. I'm like, wow, that also can win. The thing is, there's one culture that's very strong ingrained in us. Is must always makan together. People ask me, how do you gather so many people in one spot? Then I share with them. Truth is,
Hello listeners, welcome to the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon podcast, and we talk to business leaders in Asia, and today we have someone special here with us who is, I've been connected for some time on LinkedIn, and you can follow all his posts. He has the Marketing Cow. He is the Lord of Choobub, and his team actually does a lot of very interesting things. I followed his team, or him during the pandemic when he used to do a lot of LinkedIn lives and very interactive LinkedIn lives. And now their team does a lot of marketing, graphics. I personally attended one of his design workshops, which I learned a lot and use in my thumbnail designs today because I learned from Dr. Eric Siew himself. And he is a friend of Iconic as well, our sponsor, and we'll talk about Iconic later. So Eric, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you very much, Bob.
Yes, so Eric, first question, right? So I looked through your posts, and one of my favorite posts is you actually had a post of what you learned from Dragon Ball. So your first photo is Dragon Ball. So my first question to you is, who is your favorite villain in Dragon Ball?
I think the most memorable villain for me was Cell. I would say it's Cell. Because I find it rather fascinating that he can absorb the androids and then morph into something else, which is at that point when I was younger, I find that really fascinating that you know.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah. So maybe Elton, our producer, later you will need to put a photo of Cell when we talk about this. So Cell has this like 2 horns, and like he's very good. After Frieza, he's like the modern, like that time we had Terminator, movies like the Alloy. Cell, right, is the first time I don't understand about biology, but because of Cell, right, I understand he's regenerative, so that you can fight him, kill him, then he got one cell never die,
then he can come back again.
And then come back many, some more.
That's why
it's like starfish like that.
小強嚟咯，打唔死的 cannot kill cannot die one.
Kill cannot die, and I think because of him, right, they only got the 3rd manifestation, the die somethings. Yes, he's the reason why I learned about biology, because the regenerative cells, and that's the first time I encountered, and I watched that in a primary school. So I'm like, wait, Cell, Cyro, wow, so cool.
Very cool, right?
And I know your favorite character is Goku, right? So what is the favorite things about Goku?
I think it's a bit cliche but I think Goku has that character of not giving up.
So not giving up.
Yeah, not giving up. I mean,
Die also cannot give up.
Die also cannot give up. I mean, he died, went to heaven, then still come back to earth again. I mean, it's like he's just not giving up, that kind of attitude which I admire in that sense.
Yeah, that also cannot give up. And one thing I like, and it's a very Chinese thing, a very Asian thing, is that you cannot beat the bad guy, right? Then you go and practice Then you go inside this dome, right? That is a multiplier of days one.
They slow down the time. That means that slow down or faster. I think slow down the time.
Yes.
Slow down the time.
So I think something like 1 day in the dome is 100 days, something like that
correct.
Basically, he will go inside and practice, and I remember the gravity is times 100 or something.
Yes, correct.
Crazy. Okay, basically, if you don't watch Dragon Ball, right? Dragon Ball, you need to find it. It's like this Goku guy, right? So it's like alien. Before Superman, right? Not before Superman, but there's Goku, this alien race that come to Earth. My favorite character is Vegeta. It's like his
rival, I would say. Rival.
But same planet one. And then my favorite sort of villain is Majin Buu lah. So the fat one, and then he is a bad guy, very hard to beat, and then after that he become a good guy to fight him.
You like to turn people into chocolate.
Yes. I remember my favorite one is so when we watched this, right, we watched it in Cantonese.
Yes,
It was during the VHS tape times.
Yes.
I used to bug my dad, hey, let's go to the VHS tape rental store. The next GT episode is out already. I need to go and watch. And then so I remember one scene. So we either watch it in Cantonese because it's dubbed in Cantonese, or Japanese with English subtitles.
Yes.
So I remember Majin Buu got one scene is like okane aizu. So he he got ice cream and money, ice cream. So he loved eating ice cream, and it's like the best thing. Even last year I went to the cinema to watch Dragon Ball myself, the latest movie.
Oh really? Yeah.
I still watch. I still have the comic book at home.
I still got the old one.
The Malay one?
The Malay one, the whole entire series.
The Z, right?
The Z one. Now my kids are reading them. Like the pages are like all yellow, but they still enjoy it.
Oh, they're so good. Nice. They keep can sell. Next time can sell one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, can sell one. My cousin, so I finished reading them. My cousin who is like 7 years younger than me. After that, read also. So that's how it was in Malay. That's how we learned Malay.
Yeah. But sad thing is the author passed away.
Oh yes, so we talk about Dragon Ball. The author Akira Toriyama.
Akira Toriyama. Yeah.
Toriyama just passed away this week. So it's very sad.
I think a lot of people is quite saddened by the whole thing because he's like the OG. The OG for all animes that come out after that, the mangas that come out. It's just sad lah.
Yeah, it's quite sad. But yeah, this Dragon Ball series is the best. So we have watched so far. So talking about Choobub. So what is the meaning of the word Choobub?
Choobub meaning actually is it carries no meaning, but the word itself actually came from my daughter lah. When she was still a toddler, she was just playing some objects. Right, that time cannot really say anything, only babbling only. But when she picked up an object, the first word she said that time was actually Choobub. So it's her first babble. So for me to thought, okay, that's rather cute, and I would want to remember that word. So how can I remember it? Then so happened I was starting up a company, and I said, okay, why don't I just use this name? I plugged it into the company to honor her creativity in that sense, and after that it became the company's name. Until now, we still remember Choobub is actually her first babble.
Yeah, so for the audience, right, Dr. Eric had a career in medicine, and later I'll ask him about that as well. And then he was also a lecturer in IMU, and then now he's like just doing marketing, doing marketing workshops. Nowadays, when I was attending one of his marketing workshops online that time, he mentioned a lot of stories. So how many children you have? You mentioned a daughter just now. How many children?
I got 2 kids, one younger daughter and one older son.
Wow. And how many years were you a medical doctor?
How many years? I think got about 17, 18 years already.
18 years. Are you still practicing now?
I don't practice now, but just teach lah on a part-time basis lah. I just resigned from my job last year also. So, but because my ex-boss reached out to me saying that they lack the manpower, so I'm still going back teaching as part-time lah.
Yeah, but I can find you on the KKM website lah still.
Still. You actually went to KKM website.
Yeah, I do my research lah. I have to search what is Dr. Eric a real doctor or not. So like when I attended a workshop, I remember one fascinating story that Eric told me about is something that he found. He went inside a room and then he found something smelling char siu. And that story, right, and it speaks to his content writing also. One of the reasons why I am a big fan of his work is because of his content writing. I always read, it's very, very different type of writing. AI cannot write this type. Right, so when you meet him in person, he's a great storyteller, and it stuck in my head this story about char siu one. So maybe Eric, you can tell us that story.
The char siu story, really?
Yes, get into the meat.
So this one, right? is you have to go back to the time when we were in when I was working in the district hospital lah. That time there was I was in charge of the A&E department, and inside the A&E department we are also in charge of the forensic department, because in district hospitals these two departments are connected together. So came my staff one day telling me that doctor, there's this body lah. They call it body, which is being brought in by the medical attendant, or by the police actually. By the police, found all burnt and crisps inside the forest. So when Bob mentioned about char siu, right? If you have never smelled burnt human meat before, right? Technically, it smells very close to
Char
siu, but char siu of many, many days left, not eaten. Maybe a week roasted char siu, but not eaten. So the body was lying down in the mortuary, and we had to dissect it and to determine the cause of death. So police were there. The sergeant was there. I mean, obviously, the guy actually committed suicide inside the forest. Took the oil. He actually put his clothes all nicely, by the side, and placed his shoes, and actually wrote a suicide note as well. Then he simba himself, or he poured himself with oil. Then he light up the fire lighter. So our task was to determine how many days this guy passed away. Did I share with you how we calculated how many days, how he passed away?
I don't recall.
Don't recall that one, right? We actually calculated the fly punya life cycle. So we had to take the maggot and also to find the oldest fly that's around. So, but when I went into the room, right, the maggots were jumping,
Oh yeah, I remember already.
I remember already. Yeah. Maggots can jump very, very far, So some of them actually jump, and where the maggot was coming from was from all the lubangs, the eye socket, your nostrils, your mouth, even until the man's private part, where got lubang one, they jump, because that's where they breed. But I would say the most gross moment was when the smell is one, because when you go into the room, right, your hair, your shirt, your face, everything smells like burnt char siu already. But the most gross moment is when the fly actually jumped from the dead body onto your face. Best moment ever. You will never forget it for the rest of your life. But that was one of my most memorable moments. That's what when Bob said about char siu. This is the thing that he remembered, some parts of it.
Yeah, it's I think a lot of doctors, I know I have a lot of, but nobody give me a char siu story like that. So I'm like, wow, that's quite memorable for me.
Yeah. But it just so happened I was in that situation whereby I encountered these stories. Otherwise, if I wasn't working in the forensic department, then I probably wouldn't have encountered these issues also. Mm-hmm.
So you were working in forensics, and what departments as well?
I was working in emergency.
Mm-hmm.
We call it ED, emergency department, and I was also packed together with the forensic department. So I was doing both together concurrently.
So like for yourself, some people say that doctors become immune or used to like blood and things like that. So like for yourself, is it this type of experience? So you've seen maggot jump on you already, like now like you see it, whatever.
Yeah. It's you would say somewhat immune because you see so many, right? Then you literally see a lot of dead bodies also, like not like dead, like fresh dead bodies. Like even there was a moment where this guy was just rammed by a train, right? He was actually taking drugs, suspected to take drugs on a railway track. So he was squatting there, and the train came and just smashed into him, right? So the body came into the mortuary, no face already, only left with the jaw only. So you're supposed to identify the body also. So there are moments like this where you see so many of these gory things, you kind of like, okay, it's just another day that I have to get the job done.
It's biology.
Yeah, biology. It's biology, like cell, like biology.
Like my question to you, like you try to identify by the life cycle method. So his note didn't write a date lah.
Pardon?
His note didn't have a date lah.
He, because he was found in the forest, but we needed to know when he committed suicide.
I know he said he wrote a note, right?
He wrote a note, but no date.
Next time write a note lah, so don't have to figure out and then the maggots. So for all the audience, next time if you write a note, whatever note it is, write a date. So that people like Dr. Eric don't have to count the maggot life cycle and don't know correct or not. So write a note when you write a date so that okay, he wrote the note. Assuming he did it on that day. Easy. Right.
But yeah lah. But that one was quite a lesson for me lah, because I've never done it before. So it was also an experience for me to actually calculate. We actually plug all the maggots and lay it down to see where is the cycle. Then we can calculate backwards to know which date he actually committed suicide lah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you've seen person without face. And then seen char siu, and then after that it's like you did private practice or?
I did private practice for 1 year, but then wasn't really my cup of tea, right? So I decided to move away. Then I went to Singapore lah to further practice medicine in the government sector.
Oh, how many years were you in Singapore?
I was in Singapore for 5 over years now, plus minus like that lah.
Why do you come back?
Why did I come back?
Now it's 3.5, right?
Yeah, I know. I also wonder, sometimes I wonder why I come back. Well, money is good, but the thing is that the reason why I came back is because my kids are growing up. And I wanted them to be close to their grandparents. So my wife's parents and my parents, then if we are in Singapore, right, chances are they wouldn't be close to their grandparents anymore. So, and I thought maybe this is the time that I can actually get them back and to spend time with the grandparents. Also, just before they hit primary school, I brought them back already.
Oh, and then you are a great teacher, I must say that. I attended your workshop before, so there's like storytelling, and then the way you teach is like very step by step, and it's very easy to understand. You have a lot of analogies and a lot of ways. So I can see, because I'm a trainer myself, but I know when someone is born to teach one.
Wow.
So like the next photo I have is like you were teaching at IMU lah. So this student photo. So how long were you at IMU?
I am in IMU, or still is in IMU, just part time. Right? I think there is also for about 5 years already. Because I myself was from IMU last time. I graduated from IMU. If you say how long I've known IMU, then ever since I got into med school until now. But in terms of working wise, about 5 years.
5 years. And any memorable experiences teaching?
Teaching memorable experiences, God. Students sometimes they entertain me one. Why they entertain me is because they say the funniest things one. Sometimes you don't know whether to laugh or to guide them. For instance, you will talk to patients, right? Like a lady, right? Lying there, and they will ask permission. Of course, when we want to examine, we need to ask permission to examine the patient. But the choice of words are very funny one. Mr. A, would it be okay if I touch you all over? Sometimes you think about it, it's not wrong. He is planning to touch all over, but the choice of words and the things that being said, right, it sounds weird lah. You wouldn't say it to someone. I said, then you try to practice talking to your friend, female colleague, your female friend. You look at her into the face and tell her, would it be okay I touch you all over? Then only they realize the choice of words is wrong. So it's moments like this, right, that I find it rather fun to teach, because sometimes you just have to make them see in another different perspective of things and how things should be done.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. And after that, actually, when I first know you many years ago on LinkedIn, I remember you went to design and you were doing website design on the side, right? So how do you get into that?
This one very funny one. Last time, before I went into this marketing thingy, I was actually doing a baby business also. And I was actually running this baby business from Singapore. So I was actually liaising with the distributors here in KL, and I actually have a warehouse in Puchong where they actually stock up, take out inventories, and distribute it out lah. So my task then was to pretty much liaise with mothers. My job during that time, right, I actually start talking to mother from 12 midnight onwards. Because I was selling baby goods and mothers actually when they are free, right, is when baby go to sleep So they will text me inside my phone still now, right, all the mothers' numbers they will text me from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. because after breastfeeding, they got time to go shopping. So they will text me Eric, this one can buy this one bottle okay this one baby what we call the cloth to put around the neck one will cause eczema or not. So they will have a lot of questions and I'll answer them in the middle of the night So that was my job then morning do doctor, at night go and do this business Now how I got into this web design was I wanted to do the website by myself. So in that process I forced myself to learn because I need to know how to make it function. So I designed the website from scratch. Then after that I start doing all this e-commerce thingy behind the scene as well. But once I completed the whole cycle, every night I spent some hours learning about all this website design, right? It took me about 6 months to really master it. Then I decided to join the Malaysia Website Awards. Using that website as a portfolio. So I submitted the portfolio and in Penang that was hosted by Exabyte site. So that award itself inside there's like hundreds over designers there already. I said, never mind I try whether I get it or not, a different story At least I know where I stand. But CC, I got the category of being the Website of the Year award for the e-commerce category. Emerged as number 1. I'm like, wow, that also can win. Now ever since then, right? Once I won that, they took a photo for the category winner, right? Then they published it in article and I got the photo itself. So that photo become my pitch photo. Everywhere I go, everyone, you doctor, you do website, you correct one. Not No, you see this photo? So with that photo, right, I got almost every month one deal, website deal. To do website. But the reason why I move away from doing website because it's actually quite...
later send us the photo. We'll put it up.
It's something, ever since I've been doing this, I collected the amount of cash but I didn't use the money. I park it into the company's account. Then slowly as the pool got bigger, that is when I switch over to Choobub. Then I started to hire someone to take some of my workload away because doing the website is pretty much operational work. You're hands-on. So when you focus on doing, you pretty much cannot grow the business. So I decided maybe it's time for me to move away from doing website and to grow the team and manage the company as a whole. That's how I transition things.
That's how you become the Lord.
I'm not the Lord.
Is it so like a lot of times, right, that you say can or not doctor can design or not, like a lot of people don't know that being a doctor doesn't mean your full interest is just doing medicine. Like I've known doctors who are great designers. I have a doctor friend who is in Melbourne who designs jewelry. Like was design an interest for you?
Many think or at least thought I got the skills right after I switched from healthcare to marketing, but I've been doing it since my teens, before 20s. I was actually very actively doing all these designs. I don't know whether you know Yahoo GeoCities then or not.
Yes, I'm old enough to know.
Yes. So if you know GeoCities, then you know, don't know, right?
He was not born yet.
Not born yet, right? So if you know GeoCities, that time they have a web builder already to allow you to design website and stuff like that. So I was actually writing anime reviews, Dragon Ball reviews, game reviews. I actually contributed, game FAQs, game facts.
Yeah.
It's a portal where people actually write long game guides to guide people then, because last time got no online, but it's all written in Notepad one. Then the Notepad itself, you use the symbols to design graphics inside one. So I actually wrote guides there as well. Long, lengthy guides translating Japanese games into English, so people can actually play the game in Japanese. So I wrote those guides, participated in forums, so do a lot of writing as well.
CSS, right?
CSS.
Doesn't even exist anymore.
Then people like Kenny Sia.
Yes.
Yeah, Kenny Sia is through those kind of blogs, like Nafnangs, those groups, right? They were all actively blogging then. So I was also writing a lot since then already. So the writing habit, designing and taking photos and stuff like that has been then. I've been practicing it since then. That's why only after 20 years down the line, I decided to switch.
Well, yeah, I can see it's a passion of yours, writing also. So like in the beginning, I said that your writing, I reference sometimes. It's very good. Like I got one, it's like you said something about your wife and then you continue the story. So like when it comes to writing, I know there's no fixed template because all your posts are different. But what is your advice when it comes to people who are looking to write on LinkedIn?
I think there should be a form of structure, or if we are to write on LinkedIn, because at the end of the day, we have, like it or not, right? Social media has shortened the attention span for a lot of people. And to write on LinkedIn, I think the message should be very clear. Meaning that before you write the post, you want to have a message in your head. What do I want to tell the crowd first? Then once you have the message in place, right? Then you find a story of your particular life, whether is it your experience or your struggles, to match that message you're going to tell. But the story shouldn't be overly lengthy. It should describe a situation, like how we tell stories. But once the story ends, that message should be at the end for people to consume. And for you to get the interaction going, always give a question at the end, or at least have a point for people to reflect upon and to engage you. So when it comes to LinkedIn posts, there are different styles of writing, and there's no right or wrong, but that's the style I used to, and I've been actively engaging others as well. And I find this style work for me the best in terms of telling stories and with a take-home message and a call to action at the end.
Thanks, Harry. One thing I really like about your post is the very localized flavor.
Yes.
The things that you say, they're only like Malaysian will know, or Malaysian families will know.
Yes.
That's where you get a lot of engagement, and you later we'll talk about community building as well. But you go through Eric's post, like people really jump on it to comment and say, this is my take on it. This is my experience also. It's so local. That's why I like it also. So one thing I want to bring up, later I'll put a photo also. It's like recently Choobub and Eric was featured on Vulcan Post. So it's like the headline is no leave, unlimited leave. And it's been, what is the headline again? Unlimited leave?
No leaves, no MC. Unlimited leaves
unlimited leaves.
No need to work, no work hours. You can work anytime you want. And unlimited leaves, unlimited MCs Pretty much that's it.
And what's the headline already? They said and it's been working for 4 years.
This method has been working for 4 years.
We'll put up the link to the article. So share with us more about that as well.
Now the thing is, started this company, right? I wanted to see whether we can still trust human beings in that sense. Because at the end of the day, right, I don't think everybody is in the right mind to go out there and cheat other people. We are not wired that way to do so. We are capable of doing good all the time. So I wanted to test out the theory and see whether it's workable or not. That is why when I started the company, I shared with my partners, Selena and Daniel. I said, let's try this. We burn ourselves only People take advantage of us But if we can look for good people who come and understand the value of trusting one another and be responsible for our own duties, right? I think things will turn out well. That's why when we hired our first one, I said, the contract itself stated that you can take as much as you want, no problem. Okay. The only rule has the job must be done on time. You can be anywhere. You can take any leaves. You got any emergencies, you take. But as long as the job gets done, we all are okay. That's it. So try with the first member, then the second member, then the third member. Oh, okay. No issue so far. And people don't abuse the system. But we just have to make sure that the people who join us carry that same values lah, and has a certain level of integrity in them that they do not take advantage.
I know that now we are at Iconic Coworking, that Iconic is your hub, but most of your team is remote.
Yes. I wouldn't say remote because we still meet. It's just that we don't have the office. So we meet for random reasons. Sometimes it's just to yam cha, sometimes it's just to have like a family dinner, that kind of stuff. Like really makan and talk. Pretty much. We don't talk about work most of the time. The work we liaise on a platform called Monday, and we just communicate through there if it's work related. But chances are when we come out, we do events and stuff like that. That's the time we meet and we gather together.
Yeah, speaking about Monday, I think I want to create a software called Tuesday. I think add a few features. But so like for your team, you said unlimited leaves, right? What is the average leaves they take per year then? Do you know? Or
roughly I know, because they do go for holidays.
So they still need to apply for leave.
Don't
just
have
that it's
to.
Unlimited.
They just tell the whole entire group, I'm going for leave,
Okay.
I'm going to Perth for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Okay lor. I said, always like, okay lor.
But still working in Perth?
Still working in Perth lah.
Oh.
So it's not like work per se, but they are going for holidays. But if let's say they are the ones, we don't kacau them for work. They are the ones who actually reply back, hey Eric, this one how? I said, you're not on holiday, man. Why are you still looking at work? So it goes the other way around. It's like they are more concerned about their work than we are concerned of the work so to say lah. So sometimes they do liars back. I say, hey, work, just leave it aside lah, because at the end of the day, there will be other people who are covering for you You just go enjoy your holiday lah.
So they need to state sort of this period I'm away lah. So it's like more like verbal, unofficial.
Verbal lah.
Verbal and so like this period I'm sort of away from keyboard lah.
Yes. Away from keyboard, but on and off they do take photo lah, like they sightseeing then share inside the chat group lor, where am I that kind of stuff lah. But pretty much it's just casual chatting lah, nothing about work lah.
And somebody else takes on the role or responsibility
for the time period lah, until the person returns lah.
Has there been a time where there is a challenge that they balance it? Because so it's good they can go for holiday and they're also working here, but is there like, because like some people like to divide or work is or work-life balance, they say work is work and at home. So in this case, I think a lot of dry lines are very grey. So was there any issue with the lines, or they always take 100%?
Initially, they were also trying to find or adjust themselves because it wasn't very common. You don't see it outside. So how to draw the line also, they don't know how to draw the line.
There's no line.
There's no line to draw in the first place. But over the years, or at least after being with us so many times, right, so many months, right, then they start to realize, right, we are always there, at least for the senior ones lah. We are always there. We are always talking to one another, and work and life is, I wouldn't say work-life balance, but more of like we assimilate life into work and work into life. We shift phase in and out. So when we need to work, we work, but during the process, then we shift out and do our life. Then shift back in again. So how you want to put your ratio to work to life is entirely up to you. Because at the end of the day, is as long as job gets done.
Yeah.
Like that only.
Like I know Elton is like that. Like Elton really assimilate. Like weekend also he's editing video, everything. But I would say not everyone can. Some people want to draw a line.
Correct. That's why when you pick the team member, you must pick people like Elton.
Yeah. That's why I see lah.
That's why you see.
So that's what I say. So I like to bring, like, not for everyone. So before you recruit them, you need to see.
You need to screen.
Correct. So this is your team. Later we'll put in the photo also. So like this is a LinkedIn question lah. The LinkedIn question is like, how do you build? So I know that you said you yam cha with them. You talk about casual things, just meet up. But how do you build the culture of your team?
The thing is, there's one culture that's very strong ingrained in us. Is must always makan together. Eat together. I don't know whether I'm old school or not, but as coming from a Chinese background, right, our parents always say, "Sik fan." Always, I think that itself is a very strong culture in the sense to keep the relationships. Because only when your bellies are filled and you are comfortable, then you start sharing your personal stories, your life stories, and your struggles, and whatever that you have in mind, lah. Because you're at ease, ma. It's not like an office environment where you can actually, come and just talk these kind of things, right? So, to build that culture, we add a lot, lor. We hang out a lot, lor. So sometimes every 6 months to a year, we'll go for a trip somewhere, lah. The last trip we went to Sekinchan. Everybody just hang out there, don't know do what at the Sawah Padi there, lah, but we just hang out there, lah. I mean, pretty much Sekinchan is like quiet, lah, apart from the paddy fields, right? But it was hot, it was sweaty, but it was a moment for everybody to just sit down in the cabin and just share their thoughts. So we talk about random things, when to get married, lah. To the point where sometimes, is it good to have sex before marriage or have sex after marriage? So these kind of things, all these topics come into mind. Should you, wear condom lah, or take oral contraceptive pill lah, Should your boyfriend
doctor,
be...
have to ask you.
You have to ask you these kind of questions, right? So I find myself in situations like this, addressing all these social questions lah, I would say, life questions, I would say, which I find it is beneficial because at the end of the day, we are all still learning. And our team, one person not in the photo is actually Yatong.
Yeah, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
You have this team member who is in Australia somewhere. Perth.
He's in Perth. So he does join us our meetings every week. He sits there like Akong, like grandfather, he'll watch. And I wanted the team to learn that while they see me as the leader, but I will still listen to someone who is older than me. Because it plays a role, because the way and their mindset is different. They look at things from a different perspective, and not that they are wrong, or they are right. It's just a different form of mindset so that you can emulate and learn together to understand different sets of generation, how to work alongside with them.
So yeah, good to have a
Akong. Good to have a Akong there.
Yeah, very, very, very interesting. Thanks for sharing about your team. So next one I want to talk about is, of course, your engagement. So if you go through Eric's LinkedIn post, you'll see a lot of huge engagement. And then one of the things I admire is the MKK that he runs here. For now, this when we are recording, he runs here every Wednesday. And people, it's like full house. And a lot of people come and they come and support. And there's a strong sense of community supporting Choobub. So how do you start building that?
It took me a while to reach that level. People ask me, how do you gather so many people in one spot? Then I shared with them, truth is, everybody who came that day is everybody I spent time with initially. I really literally sat down and have conversations with them 2 to 3 hours through coffee lah. So
this is a photo of him yam cha.
Yeah.
So actually this was supposed to be a yam cha one, but I said okay lah, might as well record it. It's not a podcast episode.
So I yam cha with a lot of people over the years, ever since I started Choobub. Yam cha, right? So from all the people that I yam cha with, then they all came and supported the whole movement. So while I started the initial state, it wasn't that many people, so it was in the evening. But people did come after work to support the session. So I was trying out and see whether people would actually want to come. Then I changed it to the morning and to see how is the response as well. And because mornings, I have an idea of trying to get business owners to come. Because business owners, usually they're quite flexible throughout the day compared to those who are working with a company. They're tied down to job hours. I said, why don't I try to see whether I can get business owners to come? And true enough, when I opened this up within 1 week, within a week, all the season passes, all Kao Tim sold out. So that itself, it's not expensive, the pass. It's just that when I place the price tag there, is a form of commitment to get people to just come. It's like going to gym, right? You pay gym, like, I pay money already, I better go gym, use some, I paid already. So it's a form of commitment to get them to come. But since they are coming ready and they experienced the true value from attending the session, then it's no longer about the money anymore. They just keep coming every week because they see it's not about the speakers, it's not about the topics also, it's about the people they meet, because during these sessions, we got nothing to sell. And people come here just purely to make friendships and create relationships. That's the thing. And people come and share struggles also, because all business owners, they feel very heavy at heart one, because they go through struggles sometimes by themselves. Got nobody to share with. But they come right here, everybody share the same struggles. When you open up, I say, wow, this year very bad. Everybody, very bad. Then you feel that energy, everybody just sync with one another. So that's why people start looking forward to come each week.
Yeah, I see how you build relationship with some of the sort of like people who really support you, including like, I think this week he spoke here, it's Kongo.
Yes.
And Sharon, of course.
Yes.
And then like people like Prema. So you have like different characters in your community as well.
Yes. So they are very supportive of what we do as a company, as a collective. And all these people that just now you mentioned, I call them Kwai Yan. I don't know what's Kwai Yan in
It's
English,
expensive people.
The one is Kwai.
Yes, it's the literal word is expensive. It's not
really?
funny people.
Oh, okay.
Not the funny. It's Gui Ren is
Gui Ren, right?
Gui Ren
expensive
is expensive people.
Yeah, expensive people. There is a meaning to it. It means people who really go all the way out to help you to succeed. So these are the gems that people that I met through LinkedIn that has been very supportive of the journey.
Oh, yeah. Good to hear that also. I think last one before we wrap up. So one of your posts that I read that really touched me is your post. So I'll put a photo later also, this one. So it's a post with your wife. You said your wife gave her opportunity to job offer in Australia and then opportunity to work in Singapore, things like that. So how important is your wife in what you do now?
I think without her, I wouldn't be here, really. With regards to everything else, right? I think she's the most important aspect or element of things that whatever that's been shaped today, she's the one been supporting me behind the scene. So she gave up a lot of things, including her job, her opportunities, even, to be in another country, to have another future there. She gave up all. And even for the kids, she gave up a job. Only recently she decided to go back into the workforce. But for the past many, many years, she's always been behind the scenes supporting the things that I do, because I need to run sometimes and go to work and stuff like that. So she's always there to make sure that the family and the household goes on a very steady platform, so that I do not have to worry about things back home. So without her, I think this kind of whole MKK, all this Choobub thing, right, wouldn't have happened.
She's a practicing doctor? Or?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where is she?
Now she's going back part-time and she's working in a clinic, not full day just during the hours where the kids go to school. Then after, when the kids finish school, then she'll be there to get them home also.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of people don't know, like, to be an entrepreneur is not easy.
Yeah,
there's like really 24 hours, 24/7, and there's of course somebody behind supporting that nobody knows.
Yeah. That's why I decided to write about my wife. Her name's Grace. So I said, why don't I ask her to come and meet the people that you have been supporting me so far, so that they know, because everybody kind of know Grace because I write about her. But just that they have never met her in person. That's why I invited my wife to come to join the sessions, to be there in person, to see the hard work that she's been doing to support me, that this is what the fruit is. And finally, she get to see and understand what's going on also, which that me is a joy for her to be part of it.
Right. Thanks for sharing. So we'll clip this up for your anniversary so you can play, right? So during your anniversary celebration. So like last question now. So I know that now you're going to season 2 of MKK Marketing Cow, which is so shout out a bit. So it's a weekly workshops running here at Iconic.
Iconic here is every week starting from May 8. Now because season 1 is still running, season 2 starts on May 8, and it's gonna be every week Wednesday. Between the time of 9 to 12, people is going to come here to learn about marketing, learn about business, entrepreneurship, learn how to market themselves, and of course to fellowship and to make new friends here and to grow together as a community.
And what is the future of that? Do you plan to grow a community or have bigger event? What is the plan for that?
The future plan is if the group gets bigger, right? I don't think Iconic also can tampung that many of people lah. We will probably have different time slots already to accommodate different groups of people. Because we have plans to focus on business, focus on marketing, and focus on communication. So there are different groups who are interested in different things. So as time grows and the group gets bigger, then if the place cannot accommodate it, we will have to break it into different sections. That means we have to do more hard work lah. We have to kuli more to have more organized more sessions so that people can join. But of course, to keep also the community not too big lah, because too big already also very hard to mingle around and mix with one another ma. So have to play by ear lah and fine tune as we go along.
Well, sounds like you're building a school. Is that your intention?
Yes. Actually, one of the pillars that we have under Choobub is called, we wanted to have a marketing academy.
Oh.
So it's like literally working like a school like that. It's just people coming to learn and experience, having fun, and along the process as we grow, then we have different multiple sessions people can attend to. So yeah, you are right lah. We are trying to also build up something that people can, like a school lah, people can come and learn.
Okay. Now, last question, we need to shout out our venue sponsor. So, like, you've been a tenant here, and you're so loyal to Iconic Coworking. And Sharon just now, actually, she came a bit and saw Bat Chicha already. So what is your experience with Iconic so far?
Guys, if you have never been to Iconic, I think you should come here lah and see the place lah. Place, like any other place, is a place. But it's the person, Sharon Tan, that makes the difference to this place. So if you have never met her, please come and talk to her and chat with her, and then you'll find why Iconic, not just any other ordinary co-working space, but because of her, the whole place is a lot livelier and you'll feel more fulfilled and your well-being being taken care of because of Sharon. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Iconic Coworking. So you can do your events here. So like MKK Marketing Cow is here. You can do your workshops, training, work here, and you can set up your office, your team here as well.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you, Eric, for coming on.
Sama-sama, Bobko. Thank you for inviting me as well.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Bye.